Hey there, www.andrewmartinmusic.com. Another late night in the van, informal as always. This one is the difference between religion and spiritual gnosis. And the difference is religion is always based on words in a book, where spiritual gnosis is sheer intuition fused with the faculties of critical thinking, reason, and logic, to the extent that reason and logic can help us determine correct from incorrect. Those are limited faculties. They're not foolproof, but they're guideposts along the way. So, yes, as a Sethian Christian Gnostic, I am non-religious because I don't place authority in written words in books of men. And they're all written by men. They can say they're inspired, but they're all written by men, and they're all internally contradictory and comparatively contradictory when it comes to metaphysics and God models. If you compare the religions. So yes, just a quick one here. Pure spiritual gnosis is an intuitional knowing, and intuition is probably always right and correct, but there is matters of interpretation, and that intuition is fused with a clear mind of reason, critical thinking, reason, and logic. Sort of like a really sharp razor blade slicing into the matter of things. That's what reason and logic are for. So yes, we don't know intuition in the way we'd hope we could, which makes it interpretive. And the reason it's interpretive is because there's things that human beings cannot know. We don't have access to the knowledge of the thing in itself. So we're left with the experience, and then some people want to communicate the experience. And when they communicate the experience, they're back to words. And the problem with that, although it's a noble thing to do, the problem with that is that the words create religion, and we don't want that. So we have to settle for the experience of intuition and the inherent problems with the limitations of the human mind. And then the second point I should make is that one very important difference between spiritual intuition and religion is spiritual intuition always wants freedom. It wants freedom from coercive authoritarianism, whereas religion always wants it's based on coercion and authoritarianism, because there's always threats that come with the books. So there's an injunction in the religious books. If you don't fulfill that injunction, there's a threat of coercive violence against you. So these are two important aspects of spiritual intuition. The one where, because of the limitations of the human mind, our spiritual intuition has to be interpreted through words if we want to try and communicate the experiences we have. And that, again, is inherently problematic. And then the second part about how religion differentiates between spiritual gnosis is this idea of freedom And spiritual Gnosis always wants freedom. It wants the human experience to be free from coercive authoritarianism, whereas religion, Legion, always wants to use coercive authoritarianism to implement its injunctions. So there you go. Some thoughts on spiritual Gnosis versus Legion. Ciao.
Yes, a clear understanding of spiritual intuition when it comes to how shall we live would lead to a proper understanding of the Golden Rule. And this is why, in truth, Christians should never have adopted capitalism. So it begs the questions of why it did. And I think Marx gives one of the better answers there, where he said that the Jew symbolizes money and money equals power, and Christians are Jews, and the Roman Catholic Church adopted this, money and power thing, and that's indisputable. And, as time rolled on, Christians are Jews and adopted capitalism. But it's all based on religion and the written word of books, which means it's an error. So pure spiritual intuition for Christians would lead them away from capitalism and into sustainable eco-communities, small eco-communities. And there could be like different sects with micro-beliefs, and you would just go to where it suited you most, for what resonated most with you. But that would be the only true spiritual intuitive path for how we should live as Gnostic Christians, seeking out these kind of communities that could be free from coercive authoritarianism. And the spiritual intuition has to align with the highest spiritual value of freedom, and freedom from coercive authoritarianism within small communities of like-minded people.